just about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of trading action. It's been kind of a volatile move so far. We've again slipped into the red, 0.2%, 0.3% lower now, 22,487. That's a 60-point near dip that we are seeing on the Nifty. Not just that, it's even the mid caps are now lower in trade. Even though there is a contrast there, small caps still about half odd percent higher, but the mid caps lagging 0.07% lower in trade. We're also looking at the Nifty Bank that's on the back foot today. Apart from that, if we look at the sectoral action, in the first 25 minutes, you'll find that the banks have slipped, financials, even the PSU banks have slipped, private banks have slipped in trade. Autos, however, are still in a better zone. You can see almost a half odd percent uptick on this one. Metals continue, albeit not in the same vigor that it went in last 2 days, but about half odd percent higher in trade. IT, FMCG continue to be on the back foot. Pharma on the back foot, so the defensives are not participating. You have some green as far as real estate space is concerned among the key stocks. Then let's look at on the Nifty again. You have stocks like BEL up and about 2% higher, of course, order flow inflow. HDFC Life, Bajaj Auto, Hero Moto, Tata Motors. These are the pockets that are actually holding up in trade. You have Tata Steel also that's bouncing back. You have Reliance Industries and many other such stocks that are supporting the markets. But on the downside, the pockets that are still weak. IndusInd Bank that continues to reel under pressure. You have HCL Tech, BPCL, NTPC giving some of their gains of yesterday. Shriram Finance, Infosys. So the IT pack and some large private banks that are still on the back foot as far as the heavyweight stocks are concerned, which are not really contributing to the moves today. Looking at some of the other pockets within the small caps, which is the green zone, let's look at what are the pockets that are actually showing us some traction today. Data patterns is strongly up in trade. You have about a 5.5% higher on this one. You have Triveni Turbine again, second day in a row, 4.5% higher. BEML, Redington, Keynes Technology, Hind Copper. So mix of all those interesting names that are up and about. Railway space clearly seems to be in action. Even RITES is up in trade. Triveni Turbine. You have Ircon International that continues to be on a high zone. JWL. All of these stocks are actually buzzing in trade today, while on the lower end, you have stocks like Aegis Logistics, IIFL, Jyoti Labs, Lalpath Labs, Laurus Labs, that's on the declining zone today. Within the small cap basket, let's look at the Nifty 500 space. Again, flat with a negative bias on the index level, but this is the broadest set of the index. Again, here you will see names like Quest Corp. You will see Kirloskar Engineering again on the higher side. There is DB Realty, Spark, Redington, Keynes, all of these stocks that are buzzing in the first half an hour of trade as we are looking at. Remember, viewers, we are now looking to welcome another top guest on the show. It's the Women's Day special. So we have all the top voices of stock markets joining in and sharing with all of you what exactly should your strategy be when it comes to stock market investments. Let's welcome a very special guest. Ms. Amisha Vora joins in, the chairperson and MD of PL Capital Prabhudas Leeladhar. Warm welcome to you, ma'am, and thank you so much for joining in. I wish you a very happy International Women's Day, and I hope that you continue to inspire millions of women when it comes to their investment journey, the way you have been doing so, over the last 2 decades, 3 decades odd. Tell us, the first suggestion or advice that you want to give this Women's Day to all the women investors who have just taken to investing this time.
Happy Women's Day to you. Sakshi, you yourself are a phenomenal example of what women can achieve. And you keep inspiring and helping day after day to all the audiences, male and female. But I would definitely say that women who have not yet started their journey, who are still thinking, it's very, very important. I always feel and say that whether you are a working woman, whether you are from a very, very wealthy and established family, or you are the one who's really running the show, to plan your finances, know your finances, and secure your future. Because this is absolutely in your own hands. Nobody can really dictate or decide your security of financial future. Once you start that journey, you realize that a very important worry that everybody keeps is planned well, is behind you. It gives you so much security and basis that financial independence that you achieve. It helps you take many major decisions in life also. And it's a three-step journey. Financial planning is a three-step journey. First step is savings, because without savings, you don't convert it into wealth. Second important step is risk mitigation, which means insure yourself well. And of course, the third important step is put it for long-term wealth generation. Any speculative activity can also be a big risk to your savings. So if you adopt to these three principles, I think that you will be flying and achieving all your dreams.
Wow, that's wonderful. I'm hoping that everybody is noting down all of these precious points. This comes from a wealth of experience that Amisha ji has had in the investment world, and this will greatly help you in your long term achieving for your life goals and financial goals as well. So, Amisha ji, tell us what role does stock market investment, equity investment really play when it comes to the investment journey that women are setting on to do? We've always seen women as risk averse investors. Somebody who wants to really know that, okay, if I have lesser return, I'm fine, but my money should be safe. So largely they used to invest in FDs or maybe buy gold jewelry. Slowly and gradually, we are seeing more and more women wanting to take risk with their money, go ahead at those equity, investments as well, which were considered as riskier assets. Nowadays, everything, in this current scenario can be termed as risky. But what is it, that you would tell them if they want to explore equity investments? How should they go about it?
So, Sakshi, the first principle is when you put your money into a savings bank account, it is still savings. It's not investments. Purpose of investments is wealth generation, wealth creation. You can generate wealth or create wealth only when your investments grows higher than inflation, which means that some portion of your money has to be in equity. Equity is the only asset class that typically on a longer period, no decade has gone when equity has not beaten inflation.
Yes.
Globally and in India. So you have to be in this asset class. Now the choice is you have to decide amongst three things. I would always say that all the starters who do not have invested, who have not have enough time or invested enough time to understand the nitty-gritty of markets, first choice is mutual fund.
Yeah.
Even if you put based on your age and risk profile, 40, 50, 60% of your savings into mutual funds, you will be so much more better off in your wealth creation journey. It's only when you have some time at hand, you do some courses, you understand what are the nuances of direct investments or direct trading, that you start indulging into markets with your money directly.
Okay, so Amisha ji, if somebody really wants to start off with direct investments, if somebody has, explored some mutual funds, what is the best way to identify? I'm sure, experts like yours, firms like yours do guide a lot of women, so they can approach, people like you and your companies to really get them the assistance. And that's the first and foremost that we also suggest, that first find a financial expert for yourself. But if somebody is really trying out with so much of information now widely available on social media, I'm sure a lot of people are already taking risks with their money on an everyday basis, looking at stock tips here and there. So one side of caution I want you to give them, and the other side, what is a better way to approach direct stocks? Are there any, safer stocks or, long-term stocks that one can really bet on? Should one absolutely look at the large caps and you would not go very wrong there? How should one really look at that space?
So there are, once again, when you want to indulge into direct investing into stocks, as what you very rightly said, either invest time and learn the ticks of the trade, which is not going to be as easy. As you know, that many professional investors also find it difficult to beat the index returns.
Yes.
And it's a full-time job. But secondly, at least have a proper research-backed financial advisor to your help, because making returns out of markets is not only about the right stock, it is beyond about your right mindset, how to navigate difficult times and stay invested is really the art and science of making money. So the right financial advisor will hold your hand through this journey of pain and gain and make you be a winner in longer term. Once we boil down from that to looking at the markets, in different market cycles, the weighted changes between large cap, mid cap, small cap, as each of these has different risk profile, liquidity profile, and growth profile.
Wow, that's wonderful. I hope this has given a lot of clarity to our viewers who are actually looking at direct stocks and equities as an investment form. I hope you really take this down as to what is the right approach so that you protect your money as well as are able to, create alpha for yourselves as well. Amisha ma'am, we have a caller with us. We've invited some callers also on our Women's Day special show. So we'll go across to Swati from Jalandhar, who's on the phone line with us to ask a question from you. Hi, Swati. Happy Women's Day in advance. We're celebrating International Women's Day. Go on with your question. What do you want to ask our expert today?
Thank you, ma'am. Happy Women's Day. What of you?
Thank you.
Happy Women's Day.
मैम मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ कि मेरे को सिप प्लान करनी है, जैसे मार्केट बहुत ज्यादा टूटा हुआ है अभी, तो मैं कौन से फंड चूज कर सकती हूँ? एक तो मैंने SDFC का फ्लेक्सी कैप चूज किया है, उसके अलावा मैं कौन से अच्छे फंड हो सकते हैं जिनमें मैं इन्वेस्ट कर पाऊँ?
बहुत अच्छा सवाल है स्वाति जी आपका, और अमीशा जी डेफिनेटली यहाँ पर आपको राय देंगी क्योंकि इन्होंने काफी समझदारी से चुना है। फ्लेक्सी कैप पहला इन्होंने अपने लिए चुना है। तो अमीशा जी क्या कहना चाहेंगी आप इनको?
एक तो आपको बहुत पहले धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी कि जब मार्केट गिर रहा है तभी आप में वो पेशेंस और डिसिप्लिन है कि मुझे पैसा डालना चाहिए. So you deserve a great applause from all of us. Trust me.
Amazing.
And yes. And secondly, आपने फ्लेक्सी कैप चुना तो आपको वो भी समझ है कि ये मैं फंड मैनेजर को डिसाइड करने दूं कि लार्ज कैप, मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप में क्या एलोकेशन करना है. तो यस, ये आपने बहुत अच्छा काम किया. अब इससे ज्यादा थोड़ा अगर आपको अप्रोच लेना है तो आप एक हाइब्रिड और मल्टी एसेट फंड में भी डाल सकते हो, क्योंकि वो भी आपको बहुत अच्छे से प्रोटेक्ट करेगा और आपके पैसे को ग्रो भी करेगा. तो यू कैन चूज फ्रॉम एनी ऑफ दीज म्यूचुअल फंड्स मल्टी कैप एंड अ हाइब्रिड फंड.
ओके तो स्वाति जी उम्मीद करते हैं यहाँ पर अमीशा जी की जो राय आपको मिली है इसके बारे में आप जरूर रिसर्च करेंगे और हाइब्रिड और एक मल्टी कैप मल्टी एसेट फंड डेफिनेटली आप अपने लिए चुनेंगी और उसमें आप निवेश करेंगी. वी विल होप टू सी यू बैक very soon on Business Today once you have done that investment to guide you further on our other shows. So we have, I hope, clarified a lot of doubts when it comes to investors queries. But Amisha ji, now I have to ask you on the markets as well. What is your own understanding? 5 months of pain is what we have already seen. What is it that you are gauging? Do you think we are near a bottom? Is the worst behind us? Are things going to be back on track? What is it that you're approaching the markets with the hope?
So Sakshi, I personally feel that it's a very, very a fortunate time to invest because A, we are demographically one of the best economy. Balance sheet wise, be it government, banks, corporates or individuals, we are still very sound and safe. And our reforms, any which way, are underway to unleash the power of growth. Now we came across a bump wherein the government capex slowed down, banks tightened a bit, and inflation inched up a bit. All three led to consumption and demand slowdown. That got coupled with the tariff worries. So we have shred almost 18% plus on the markets. And whenever that happens, as you know, 35, 40, 45% of the stocks is out. As we see what is really happening on tariff front, my own understanding is that whatever steps may be taken, it cannot hold dollar so strong.
Yes.
It cannot keep inflation at bay in US. And as those two aspects come, the whole shift of money from emerging markets to global markets, which has happened, which has also impacted us for last 5 to 6 months incessantly, will stop. Now we are at that juncture that confidence is a bit low. So any negative news is slightly more pronounced. And there will be a time of these few months when the opportunity to invest at saner level will keep emerging. But am I at all less bullish on the medium-term outlook of Indian markets? I am not.
Okay.
Second important thing is from tariff perspective, on China, 20% across the board tariffs are already levied.
Yes.
So take an example of pharma, API, CDMO. Now, all those sectors, even if reciprocal tariff is laid in India, it can't be more than 9 to 10%. So straight we got 9 to 10% competitive advantage against China is what my broad understanding tells me. Similarly, it will happen on textile. And there will be so many items. This will happen. This will give Indian industry time to catch up with global markets and exports and also shield their own markets. So there will be winners and losers within the sectors broadly in Indian industries during this tariff war. But net, I feel we have huge domestic demand. Plus, we have got a shield against competition from China in many industries through this tariff war. So I remain positive and I feel this would be the times to invest and we will make money over a medium term.
That's a wonderful, advice there. A bullish outlook in the medium term, and therefore this is a fortunate time, the right time to start investing. We will also request you, ma'am, to share with us the key sectors that you're most bullish on and the stocks that you have probably started to accumulate in this fall, which look attractive to you, and where would you guide investors to really look for strong gains over the medium to long term, ma'am?
So I would say that particularly defense sector is totally domestic order book focused. And once the order comes, except for 1 or 2 quarters here and there, the money is also secured. The spender is going to give money. So defense ancillary, the visibility continues to remain very strong. And that's why one sector which I like within the capital goods and manufacturing. Similarly, apart from that, of course, there are select railways companies, which I say, which are Kavach related, where the order book is so solid. Order books are almost 5 times sales or more. And this is profitable businesses. So I feel they will also bounce back with strong earnings visibility. As I go down, there will be many within the manufacturing who are winners, but I will now shift to consumption. And I feel that the budget booster will start showing up sometime second quarter onwards.
Okay.
And a lot of domestic focused, say, branded fashion or consumer durables. I'm not saying fast moving consumer goods. Beyond that, will start doing better. And third, I would go into pharma. And fourth, I will go into banking and NBFC, because the liquidity which had killed the growth and impacted across has started coming in a bit. So in this order, I think the earning visibility will continue to unfold and markets will continue to respond positively to these 3-4 sectors.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your wonderful insights. It's always a pleasure to host you on Business Today Television. And it's a masterclass in itself whenever you come in and explain all the aspects of the markets and investments to all our viewers. So we hope that you please keep coming more often on the channel to guide all our viewers of Business Today. Here's wishing you once again a very, very happy International Women's Day. And, we will continue to look up to you for all the inspiration on investments, ma'am. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.